How do you organize your notebooks in Evernote? Well, this week I'm going to show you a new way that I've been experimenting with over the last few months with my notebooks. Hello and welcome to another episode of Working with Evernote. My name is Pullein, and in this week's episode it's all about how you structure your Evernote notebooks. Now, the reason I'm doing this episode is because over the last few months I have been experimenting with a new way of organizing my notebooks, and the reason for that is because I realized that my whole structure within Evernote was getting a little bit unwieldy and a little bit over complex, and I really wanted to figure out a simpler way of using notebooks in Evernote. Now, the problem that most people have is understanding the relationship between notebooks and tags. Now, the thing is, notebooks, the way I see it is, notebooks give you the structure. It gives you a structure within Evernote. Tags are there to help you to find stuff, related stuff that's related together. Now, that's just the way I look at it. People have different ways of looking at notebooks and tags, and I know there's a whole debate out there about whether you should organize by notebooks and tags. The key is really just find the way that works best for you. Essentially, what you want to do is to get information in so that you can get information out as quickly as possible. So basically what I've done is I've streamlined my notebooks, or it might not appear that way, but really I have, and it's really working very well for me, and I really want to show you how it's set up so that you can maybe consider this as a way to organize your own notebooks. Now, before we go into Evernote, I would just like to say, if you do get any value from this video at all, then please help me by hitting that like button below, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. Okay, let's go into Evernote and I'll show you how I have got my notebooks set up at the moment. Okay, so the idea behind this setup is to simplify the overall structure. And remember, notebooks create the structure, tags help you to find stuff when you need to find related notes that you've collected. But my idea behind this is really just to simplify the overall structure, because the problem I was having before with any notes app, is not just Evernote, but this would be with any notes app, is we're collecting notes pretty much all the time. And as you can see, I'm recording this on a Friday and I empty out my Evernote inbox every Saturday or Sunday, and I've already collected 26 notes, and some of these are articles, some of these are notes that I've been writing for myself, and so on. So what happens is that these notes get added and added and added, and then an important note usually ends up really going further and further and further down, and we end up forgetting about it. So what I wanted to do was to create a structure that allowed me to be able to focus in on the current notes that I'm working on, things that are important to me at the moment, planning, projects that I might be working on. I also have a read review notebook for articles that I want to read but just don't have time at the moment, and once they're read I can then move them into what I call my cabinet if I want to keep them. If I don't want to keep them, I can delete them. And the cabinet essentially is exactly that. It's just a cabinet. Tags will help me to find those articles later because they're all tagged, but that's basically how it works. But then I realized that there was another problem with just having 3 notebooks, is that some notebooks are really important because they're very project specific, and I wanted to keep them within their own stack, if you like. So I've created this stack here, which is now my business stack. So in my business stack, I have essentially related to the various businesses that I'm operating. So I've got my coaching clients, CPP is the productivity business, FES is my English language business, Free Talking is for articles that I'm collecting for my students that I work with on a week-to-week basis. Of course, I've got name cards because I store them there, students, and teaching, which is empty at the moment, but obviously if there was teaching materials or something that I wanted to keep in there, I could keep them in there. Likewise, for my content stack, I realized I wanted to keep my content stack outside of this new structure, simply because the content is related to my blog posts, these YouTube channels, my newsletters, and the podcast, and I want to keep them all in one place. Also, the Time and Life Mastery book that I'm writing at the moment, on and off. Also, I wanted just to keep that separate because it's an active project at the moment. The Time and Life Mastery course, which has just launched, that has its own notebook because that gets updated every year, and Your Digital Life 3.0, which is not due to be written until next year, but I've already started or want to start collecting stuff for that. So essentially that's why I've kept these stacks separate, because I want a place to be able to jump into when I'm working on a specific project. But on a day-to-day basis, this is really what I'm working from, which is my current, and these are all the things that I really want to work on right now, things that are in my mind at the moment. And of course, when they come off my mind or when they're developed, either they become a full-blown project and they can be moved into Todoist, or the notes and the notebook can be moved into my business stack or my content stack. And as I read review is just simply for the articles that I want to read, but there's no time pressure on them, and the cabinet is acting really like an old-fashioned filing cabinet because everything is organized by tag. But essentially that's the new notebook structure that I'm playing with. Now I should again point out this is very much a work in progress, but I really wanted to share this with you because I know a lot of people have real difficulty trying to decide how to set up notebooks and whether to go with tags or whatever. What I wanted to do was just to create a simple overall structure that I can access on a day-to-day basis and keep all my other things that I'm working on, long-term projects that I'm working on, can be kept outside of that. And of course, when things get finished or completed, they can all be moved into the cabinet. And at the end of the year, I have my 2019 cabinet, and that can be archived, and then I can create a 2020 cabinet for next year. So that's essentially what I wanted to show. I will update you as this grows throughout the year, but I'm really happy with it at the moment. It's working incredibly well for me, particularly the read review, because those things were always getting lost amongst all the other notes. Now I have a dedicated notebook for it, and it means that I can just jump in there and read an article whenever I have time. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode of Working with Evernote. It just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you very much for watching this video. Now have I got something special to tell you about. The Time and Life Mastery version 3 course has launched. Now this course is transformative. It will transform your life. If you find that your life is drifting from one day to the next and that you feel that you're not actually achieving your goals, then this course is going to show you how to change that. It's going to show you how to identify what is truly important to you. It's going to show you how to find what it is you want out of life, and then show you the steps that you need to take in order to get there. This course is amazing. The feedback I've got from versions 1 and version 2 have just been tremendous. It has helped so many people, and I want this opportunity to tell you that it can do the same for you. I hope you will take a look at the course, have a go, take the course, and start transforming your life today. This course will do that for you. Take a look, get yourself enrolled, and hopefully I'll see you in the course.